welcome back to the Wincanis channel. My name is Rachel and today I am going to be teaching you some educational facts about Salvador Dali while I turn him into an anime character. So I will be using this image of Mr. Dali. This is what I'll be referencing. I just chose this image because he looks super expressive in this photo, and in anime, characters tend to be expressive, so I thought this would be a good one. Also because it's a super famous image of him and it's iconic. So I'll get started with the basic shape. A circle for the head, and I kind of get this little part of his face here. Kind of draw his hair, starting with this hairline over here. Map out where his ear is. Just doing a rough sketch to lay down the foundational elements. I'm just drawing these lines to map out where his facial features will be. Get that iconic mustache in there. And I think we have the basic sketch done, so I'm going to do the line art now. Right now it looks a little silly what I'm doing. I'm just kind of creating his hairline right now by doing these little strokes with the marker. This is just so that it's not a really blunt line that separates his face from his hair. I'm doing these little marks to emulate single hairs. So these shapes that I just drew in the hair are little guidelines for me to know where I predict the light is hitting his hair. Based on the reference photo, I can see that there's some light that's hitting his hair here, and I'm just kind of exaggerating that to fit the anime style that I'm drawing Mr. Dali in. So I don't want to waste all the ink in my smaller marker, so right now I'm using a thicker tipped marker to color in his hair. I'm using a Sharpie for this. You can see with the lines I drew earlier for his hairline that if I hadn't put those there would just be a harsh line, and it just kind of creates a smoother transition. And now that I have the basic line work done, I'm going to erase my lines, my pencil lines, with my eraser. Compared to the reference photo, this is looking really flat, and that's where coloring comes in. I'm going to be using markers to add shadows and more depth to the face. So what I'm going to do is be coloring him in black and white like most of the images I see of him. As you may or may not know, Salvador Dali was a super famous painter, known for his surrealism and influence on modern art. His career spanned more than 6 decades, and throughout that time, he created well-known pieces such as The Persistence of Memory, A Dream Caused by the Flight of a Bee Around a Pomegranate a Second Before Awakening, and my personal favorite, The Lobster Telephone. Dali began painting at the young age of 6. I'll put an image of his first piece on the screen. 6. He was 6 years old when he painted this. It really points to his natural born talent. Did you know Dali believed he was a reincarnation of his dead brother? His older brother passed away 9 months before Dali was born, and when his parents took him to his brother's grave, they told him he was his brother's reincarnation, and he believed it. It's no surprise that Dali was an extremely talented individual. So it may surprise you when I say that he was expelled from art school not once, but twice. While studying at the Fine Arts Academy in Madrid, he was expelled once for his role in a student protest, and the other time for refusing to sit for his oral exams. Although Dali is now well known for being a pivotal figure in the Surrealist movement, at the time, many Surrealists weren't too fond of him. Many Surrealists at the time were communists and weren't pleased with Dali's fascination with Hitler. Dali went as far as including Hitler in his artwork. An example can be seen in this 1958 piece, Metamorphosis of Hitler's Face into a Moonlit Landscape with Accompaniment. Dali created this Nazi leader's portrait disguised in a landscape. Mr. Dali was also quite conniving. Yoko Ono had once asked Dali to sell him one of his infamous mustache hairs, but Dali believed Yoko Ono was a witch and might use it for a spell, so he sent a dry blade of grass. Yoko Ono sent Dali $10,000 for it. Jeez! In 1946, Dali and Disney collaborated on an animated film called Destino. The The artist created 22 oil paintings that Disney designer John Hench turned into film storyboards. But 8 months into the project, it came to a halt due to financial reasons. 53 years later, Walt Disney's nephew decided to revive the production, and now a finished 6-minute short tells the story of a ballerina on a surreal journey through a desert landscape. I'll include a link to the video in the description. And here's the final piece. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. If you like it a lot, please share it with a fellow art nerd, and if you love receiving quality and free art education, subscribe.